Hello children, today I'll explain you the fourth poem of Flamingo English textbook, and the name of the poem is A Thing of Beauty, written by John Keats. John Keats was an English romantic poet, and in his poems we can very clearly experience his eternal love for beauty. He has always talked about beauty and its effect on us. A Thing of Beauty is not a poem, but it's an excerpt from a poem from John Keats' first epic poem, and the name of the poem is Endymion. This poem is based on a character, a Greek character, whose name is Endymion. He was a young shepherd and a poet, and who used to live on Mount Latmus. And once he had a vision of the moon goddess Cynthia. And this happened that he got enchanted towards the beauty of the goddess, and he kept seeking her throughout the forest and down under the sea. So this particular poem talks about the beauty and youth and the poet's love towards nature. I'll read the first stanza to you. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quite for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Here in the fourth line we have a word, bower. Bower means a shady place, such as a tree. In these lines, the poet talks about the beauty of nature. He says that the beauty of nature and of beautiful things is such a thing which gives us a joy which is forever. He says that the loveliness of beauty keeps on increasing with time and never fades. He says that beautiful things leave a memory inside our heart. They are stored forever in our memory, and such a memory gives us peace. Such a memory is just like a quiet bower, such as a quite shady place which always gives us happiness. He says that such a beauty is just like a sleep which is full of sweet dreams. And as we know that a sound sleep results in good health of our mind and body, so he says that beautiful things always give us peace and happiness and a joy which is forever. Now here's the second stanza. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence of the inhuman dearth. So in these lines, the poet says that it's only because of beauty and sound sleep that every morning when we wake up, we have beautiful memories of our sweet dreams. And such beautiful dreams, they give us a strong bond with the Mother Earth. He says that it's because of the sound sleep only, when every morning we wake up, we want to have a wreath of flowers that makes a strong bond with earth. He says that it happens despite of all the sadness and lack of good things in a human's life. This is very natural that we are full of hopelessness, we are depressed. But despite of this, sweet memories and sweet thoughts, they bind us to the earth more strongly. Now the third stanza. Of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways, made for our searching, yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pearl from a dark spirits. In these lines, the poet says that the life of man is full of sadness, hopelessness, and all the ugly things. But still, he says that whatever disappointments we have, whatever hopelessness we have, is just the result of our own wrongdoings. It's only because we choose the wrong path we get disappointed. He says that still, in spite of all these things, there are such wonderful sights, such beautiful sights in nature that make us happy and compel us to remove our hopeless thoughts, our gloomy thoughts, and give us happiness. He says that it's beauty only which removes all the gloomy thoughts, all the ugly thoughts, all the bad thinking, all the unhappiness, and gives us a life full of hope and optimism. Come to the fourth stanza. Such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon, for simple sheep, and such are daffodils with the green world they live in. In these lines, the poet makes a list of beautiful things we are surrounded by. He says that in nature, we have the sun, we have the moon, we have trees. Some are young and some are old. We have sprouting shady gardens which are so beautiful, and in such a wonderful shade, our animals, our sheep are so happy, they are living so happily. Then there are beautiful daffodils which are so beautiful, and wherever we see, we are surrounded by the greenery of nature. He says that God has given us so much beauty. If we ever try to see all around us, we are all the time surrounded by beautiful nature. Clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make, gainst the hot season the mid-forest break, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. He continues to tell us the list of beautiful things we are surrounded with. He adds that then there are beautiful and clear streams, small rivers, and we are all the way surrounded with shady places which are giving us a very cooling environment, which gives us relief in the hot season. And it's in the mid-forest break. It's in the dense forests only that there are rich and beautiful musk rose, which are beautiful and large white scented flowers, musk rose. They are blooming. He says so because he says that wherever we go, either we are traveling beside a river, beside a stream, or we are passing through a forest, or it's a hot season, still God has given us so much of beauty and shady places that everywhere we find joy. Such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead, all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink, pouring onto us from the heaven's brink. Here, in the last stanza, the poet continues to add beauty to his list. He says that it's not that only the nature is having beauty, beauty is also in death. He says that he finds beauty in the stories, the imaginary fictions told by people since ages, the stories of our dead ancestors who have been mighty and heroic. Their stories also contain beauty. The poet says that the beautiful tales, the wonderful tales that we have been told since ages, either we have heard them or we have read them, they all contain beauty. Why? Because these tales, these lovely stories have an endless effect on the spirit of human beings. He says that this is the beauty which he talks about. All these beautiful things, according to the poet, are an endless fountain which the God has poured upon us from the heavens. The God Himself has sent such a beautiful and endless fountain of love and beauty to us so that we may enjoy it, because it's a wonderful and beautiful gift by the God Almighty to us.